Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Phantom Knights Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Phantom Rage. This is definitely the deck I was the most excited for with all the new support from the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Booster Pack, with the Phantom Knight deck getting all new monsters and extra deck monsters to help with the rank up, Xyz plays, and just the overall playstyle of the deck that works with setting up all the different Phantom Knight monsters in your graveyard to special summon back or search out all the different Phantom Knight spell and trap cards to use on the field as well. And this is also a deck I've probably updated just as much as all of the other Arc 5 decks, maybe even more compared to decks like Performapal and also DDDs that all were released during the Arc 5 era, just because, this deck has definitely changed a lot. Every ban list, new support, especially this time around. I always try to update the Phantom Knight decks, definitely being one of my favorite of the, Yuya Dimension counterparts. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the monsters, we're running 3 still of the Phantom Knights Ancient Cloak. If this card is in attack position, you can target a dark monster on the field and then change this card to defense, and that monster gains 800 attack. But the more used effect is the Graveyard 1, with this card being able to banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 the Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand, except for Ancient Cloak. And you can only use this effect of Ancient Cloak once per turn. So with that setup, you have the search power for a good amount of different monsters in the deck altogether. Just one thing to remember also with the Phantom Knights, there are the spell and trap cards that say Phantom Knights, and then the monsters that say the Phantom Knights. So that's the only thing you can search out with Ancient Cloak, with some exceptions for a couple traps that have the Phantom Knights. You have to remember that those cards are the ones you will search out with your Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. With the other 3 we are running in the deck, we are running 3 the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. If you control a Phantom Knights monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon Silent Boots this way once per turn. And also, if you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So great search power once again. While Ancient Cloak covers the monster search, you can rely on Silent Boots to search out these spell and traps. And like I said, just an easy special summon, setting up, Ancient Cloak on the field, and then going for the Silent Boot special summon can be your overlay right there for your main go-to Xyz monster, being your Phantom Knights of Breaksword. And then for the new of the 3 ofs in the deck, I definitely want to run 3 of the new Phantom Knights of Torn Scales, being one of the more difficult cards to get in the set, being a secret rare, but it is a definite 3 of in the deck. So if you have this card, you can slowly take out the number of Ragged Gloves. I still run at least 1 copy of Ragged Gloves, which we'll get to with the lower number of Phantom Knight monsters we run, but 3 Torn Scales, this card is just so much better for consistency. You can discard 1 card to send 1 Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard, except for the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales. If another Phantom Knights card in your graveyard is banished while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales once per turn. So you have Foolish Burial setup power with this card, but also being able to rely on an easy special summon, which yes, it would be banished, but most of the time you'll use this card for an Xyz summon, which will make it a material, and when you detach it, it'll just go back into the graveyard for you to reuse. So you don't have to worry about it being banished if you just overlay with this card, getting around that whole problem of you losing out on more and more of this card's abilities and effects you can use in the graveyard. And I also run 2 of the new Phantom Knights of Stained Greaves. With this one, if a Phantom Knights monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you could special summon this card from your hand. Then you can increase the level of this card by 1. You can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 the Phantom Knights monster from your hand, except for the Phantom Knights of Stained Gloves. Then you can increase its level by 1. You can only use each effect of the Phantom Knights of Stained Greaves once per turn. So the level up boost definitely comes in handy with our new Xyz monster we're running in the extra deck, Raiders Knights, which counts as a Phantom Knight monster for the setup of our rank up plays we can do in the deck as well. Being able to rely on this for the level boost as well means you can stick to the rank 3 plays if you want to, but being able to boost up your levels of your monsters on the field with this card is just that added bonus, giving you the option to mix and match and also special summon just additional Phantom Knight monsters with this card as an added backup. And then lastly, I have the 1 additional Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves in the main monster deck count. It's still great for the setup when you add it as material, giving the Xyz monster that you summoned a 1000 attack boost, and also being able to banish it from the graveyard to send another card to the graveyard to set up, so you can easily set up your Phantom Knights of Torn Scale in the graveyard to use, and then just have that option also available to you for the banish to special summon that card from the graveyard also. And like I said, if you get stained, not stained greaves, but torn scales, you can remove the copies of Ragged Gloves the more you get of the torn scale until there's at least just that one copy remaining in the deck. For some of the non-Phantom Knight monsters running in the deck, I run the 3 Kagemusha Knight. With the past couple deck profiles, I actually wasn't running Kagemusha Knight in the deck, but with more of our limitations for Dark Attribute monsters now, with some of the new monsters, I wanted to focus solely on Dark Attribute monsters that we run in the deck. It also works much better now for the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish being a, Dark monster requirement to summon this Link monster back out to the field. So making the full use of the monsters we run for the special summon plays Dark Attribute makes it that much more consistent to summon these cards out. So 3 Kagemusha Knight, when you normal summon a level 3 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's just that one additional resource from your hand onto the field to use. So very, very useful there. The same goes for Blue Mountain Butterspy. Stuff like Junk Speeder and Marauding Captain I took out because they're Earth attribute, but Blue Mountain Butterspy is still a Dark attribute. It cannot be normal summoned or set. When you normal summon a warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot be used as synchros, but we don't synchro in this deck. So just the other, setup, just like Kagemusha Knight with this card, an easy special summon. And it is a level 4 monster, so you can also rely on it for an XYZ summon of a rank 4 monster, which along with Raider Knight, we're running plenty of other ones in the extra deck to go into. And lastly, just for more of the Link summon play, I run the 1 Armageddon Knight and the 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. For the graveyard setup with both of these, you can send any of your monsters that we spoke of so far with your Armageddon Knight, setting up the graveyard for those plays. Most of the time I do like to go for Malicious, giving you another special summon onto the field by banishing the 1 from the graveyard. So very, very useful there for sure. And for the rest of the monsters in the main deck for the engine, I run the 1 Danger Jackalope and the 1 Danger Tsuchinoko, both Dark attribute, but even if you were to discard other cards to the graveyard, most of them could potentially be beneficial, depending on where you set them up in the graveyard for the banish and then special summoning out your Danger monster. So if your opponent misses the Danger in your hand, giving you that special summon of a level 3 on the field, but also giving you graveyard setup when they discard one of your other cards off to the graveyard. And I also just run the 3 Ash Blossom for the hand trap of choice. It is a level 3 if, last resort you have to use it for an XYZ material. Break Sword just needs 2 level 3 monsters, so you can do that if necessary, but still just the preferred hand trap of choice in the deck and not really used for the XYZ material. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. For our rank up spells, I run 2 of the new Phantom Knights, rank up Magic Force. During the main phase, you can banish 1 or more dark monsters from your graveyard, then target 1 dark XYZ you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Phantom Knights, Raid Raptor, or XYZ monster whose rank equals that of the targeted monster you control, plus the number of monsters banished. So it's just a good quick play rank up that can easily make use of the different Dark attribute monsters you have in the graveyard. For that summon for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon except from the extra deck except for XYZ monsters, which, that's the main point we go into with this. As long as you have your Link monster set up beforehand, but we're not really limited with the extra deck either anymore. So we have the option for just plenty of XYZ monsters in the main monster zone that we can summon out after this card. And you also transfer the materials of the summon card onto the new one you summon. So just more additional materials to detach for monster effects. And I run the 1 of the original Phantom Knights rank up Magic Launch, just another good rank up. 2, we have all the different options for going into these cards. More protection with all of them, but just different options as well, since the Phantom Knights of rank up Magic Force is a once per turn. So if you have both of the different options and both of the searchable options, since they are a Phantom Knights spell and the Phantom Knights card with this quick play, so you can search this card off of Ancient Cloak as well. Remember that being the Phantom Knights card. For some of the one-ofs for the spell engine, we do have a pretty good amount of them. I took out the Isolde engine. I just wanted to focus more on the dark attributes, which you can use with these monsters, but still plenty of warrior search. So I run the 1 Reinforcements of the Army to search out pretty much any of the warriors aside from Destiny Hero Malicious in the deck. 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. You banish quite a lot in this deck, so being able to recycle them back into the graveyard to use is why I like to run one of this. I even considered, running a second copy of this. If that were the case, I might consider taking out the 1 Phantom Knights rank up Magic Launch for a second copy of Burial from a Different Dimension. Also the 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Monster Reborn, and still liking the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster just to clear my opponent's back row, and then use other cards like Break Sword to destroy their monsters they have on the field. And that is it for the spells. We'll now move on to the traps. With the traps focusing solely on the Phantom Knights support, I run the 3 Phantom Knights Fog Blade. It is basically the Fiendish Chain for the Phantom Knights, but also being searchable. You activate this card by targeting one effect monster on the field, negate that monster's effect, and that face-up monster cannot attack, and also it cannot be attacked. And when it leaves the field, destroy this card. So with this searchable card, you can just easily set up your back row to stop your opponent's monsters. So I definitely like to run 3 of it to max out the options, but also having the special summon effect from the graveyard by banishing this card to special summon a Phantom Knight monster from your graveyard back onto the field to use makes it that much better, because you can also special summon some Phantom Knight XYZ monsters and rank them up with the rank up spells we have. And then I also run the 1 Phantom Knight's Wing and the 1 Phantom Knight's Shade Brigandine, being a level 4 monster when you special summon it out, and being another power boost card, and also a special summon option with the graveyard along with Fog Blade when set up there. It could be potential setup in the graveyard with your Ragged Gloves, but this Shade Brigandine with your other level 4 monsters you may run is just an easy special summon if you open it up and have no traps in your graveyard to activate this card, have the other normal summon, and then that is your go-to XYZ summon. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 2 Phantom Knights Breaksword, your go-to rank 3 XYZ summon with the destruction power, but also when this card is destroyed, you can special summon 2 the Phantom Knight monsters with the same level in your graveyard and then increase their levels by 1, giving you the rank 4 option with this card. And you can target Breaksword itself with its own card effect, destroying it and a card on your opponent's field, and still resolve the special summon of your 2 Phantom Knight monsters. I also run the 1 Dante Traveler with the Burning Abyss. The one card I don't have in the extra deck is the Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon, the newest Exceed cover card. It's not expensive, just still need to get a copy of one if you wanted to take out Dante for that spot. It can be one of the potential spots you have more of the rank 5 options to go into with all the different rank up spells we run in the deck. But I also run the new Raiders Knight, a rank 4 XYZ monster. You need 2 level 4 dark monsters to make it. It's always treated as a Phantom Knights card as well, so also you can detach 1 X material from this card to special summon from your extra deck 1 the Phantom Knights, Raid Raptor, or XYZ Dragon that is 1 rank higher or lower than this card by using this face-up card you control as material, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. This is treated as an XYZ summon as well, and transfer the material onto that card. So being able to either rank up into your Dark Rebellion or go into your Breaksword, giving this card even more material, is an awesome play for sure with this card. It's definitely one of my favorites that I've been testing out in the deck for the different rank up plays. You don't even need the spell for this setup, just relying solely on this card and the different level 4 summons you can get out to easily make this card also. I also run the 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon and the 1 Time Thief Redoer. I like the Time Thief Redoer with the Shade Brigandine counting as a trap as one of its materials. Makes it all the better for sure, and Dark Rebellion is just one of my favorites to go into with Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon. If you have this, this is just one of the additional rank 5 rank ups you can go into along with Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon. And like I said, if you wanted to add that card in as well, you can try taking out the 1 Dante, or if you want to leave the Dante in, one of the Link monsters we're running in addition to all the XYZ monsters in the deck. But Dark Requiem is great just for the rank up option with this card, being able to stop your opponent's monster effects, and then just having this 3000 attack point strong XYZ monster on the field to rely on. Arc Rebellion Dragon can gain so much more attack and do heavy damage against your opponent, but it does limit the amount of attacks you can do against them. So remember that when deciding which XYZ monster to make also. I also run the 1 Rusty Bardish. This is your setup for easy special summons and also your Phantom Knight spell trap lineup in the back row, depending on which ones you want to use on the field. And I also run for the Link monsters 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Triple Burst Dragon, 1 Saryuja, 1 Access Code Talker, and 1 Borreload Dragon for all the different Link monsters. If you wanted to, keep the XYZ monsters we were running in the deck and take out one of the Link monsters, you could try either removing the Triple Burst or the Saryuja for the option of adding in the Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon into one of these spots for the extra deck. And then as for the go-to plays with the rank up spells before, once again, if you just set up your Phantom Knights of Torn Scales, with this card on the field. You can discard one card, so it could be any card if you get lucky and set up the Destiny Hero Malicious. For the discard, you can send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard, being able to send anything. I like to send the Ancient Cloak for that setup, banishing the Ancient Cloak, so then you can add another Phantom Knight to your hand, which you can then summon out your Silent Boots onto the field since you have a Phantom Knight on the field for that special summon, overlaying the two together for the play of your Phantom Knight's Breaksword. If your opponent has a monster, you can detach one from this card, targeting your Breaksword and that monster, destroying them both, and then using Breaksword to special summon back onto the field the two monsters you destroyed, raising both of their levels up to level 4, being able to then overlay the two of them into your Raider's Knight, which then, with this card, being able to attach one XYZ material from this card, and then special summon from your extra deck one Phantom Knights or Raid Raptor XYZ as one rank higher or lower, so you have the option to go back into another Breaksword, or you can go into your Arc Rebellion or your Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon for a play that doesn't even require one of the rank up spells to use, and then also setting up the Torn Scales in your graveyard for its additional graveyard effect. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely going to love continuing to update, the Phantom Knight deck as the months go on. We might see some changes with some other additional cards that can boost the deck during the ban list times. I believe we have another one coming up in December, so that'll definitely be interesting to see. And just other, generic support, that'll definitely be a big boost for the deck for sure. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.